has to completely disappear. Anything that is not God-centered sex is free sex. Once again, you need to understand very clearly, okay? Free sex is not just only chapter 2 issue. You need to understand anything that is not God-centered sex is free sex. Then, from the point of view, does your couple have sex centered on absolute sex? Do you have free sex? Do you have absolute sex? From God's point of view, anything that is not God-centered sex is considered free sex. That's why we need to really reflect. Free sex is centered on Satan, centered on my own sexual desire. However, absolute sex, centering on God-centered sex. That's why I'm really, again, I remind myself, do I have free sex, or do I have really absolute sex? My sex is really centered on God-centered or centered on Satan-centered? This is very important. God-centered sex. Whether it is a flesh-centered sex or spirit-centered sex. When your couple is having sex, you should always consider whether God is present or not. Absolute sex always centering on God-centered. Anyone who practices a life centered on absolute sex will change their current direction by 180 degrees, become a new person, and establish a new nation and a new world. There is no doubt that you will change. It is absolutely necessary to change this evil world because true Father has emphasized absolute sex. He has received countless opposition and persecution because of the teaching of the absolute sex. How could the true Father establish this worldwide foundation despite all manner of the persecution? It is possible only because God gave him a special kind of a power. God has protected Father and directed him, and even now God continuously protect and teach our true parents. So, our true Father especially, he was always moving toward the way of success. Therefore, if we, like true parents, want to protect by God and be taught and participate in building of global foundation, we must become one and love God more than anyone else. The way to become one with God and true parents is the way to be protected and taught by heaven. The place where they become one is bound to protected by God. When the body and mind become one, God will surely protect them. When a couple becomes one, God will surely protect them. Where there is unity, God is bound to intervene. When Cain and Abel become one, God will surely protect them. When we become one with God and true parent, God will surely protect us. Therefore, do not pray that you will not have an accident. Please, Heavenly Father, take care from please take care of me from the accident. Don't pray for things to go well. It is a law of the universe that if you become one with God, if you become one, if you become one with God and love God, you are bound to be protected and defended. This is a cosmic principle. So just pray that you will become one with God and true parents. How can I become one with God and true parents? If there is a really clearly oneness with God and true parents, sure, 100% sure, there is God's protection. When a mind and body become one, miracles happen. When your mind and body become one, you become a person like a true father. Can you imagine? When your husband and wife become one, they become husband and wife like a true parents. In the respect, think about how far away you are from the standard of the becoming one. That's why Father said, when you have the unity between mind and body, you can see all kind of a miracle. You can foresee your future, many things. You can meet God, you can feel God. This is the power of the unity between mind and body, like a true Father. Then when we think about true Father standard and true Mother standard, how far is it? Then how do we become one? It is complete self-denial. You must not assert yourself. You must completely abandon self-centered thought. Completely give up. Need to think that I belong to God. You know? That's why I need to always thinking centering on God's point of view. You need to see centering on God's eyes. This is really self-denial. That's why self-denial begins. Our life begins from self-denial. This is the way only we really can become one with God, one with our true parents. Right? The question is how to break this. All human beings living on the earth today are unknowingly inheriting the effects of the sins of their ancestors. Our bodies mixed with the blood of the adultery, envy, jealousy, arrogance, murder, and so on. Innumerable stains and spots that are unimaginable. Your grandfather with 10 generations can influence you spiritually in accordance with the principle of the hereditary. So you will become depressed sometimes, right? Irritated, and you want to crash into something without knowing the reason. You're angry with somebody. All kind of really fallen nature. Descendants living on earth inherit the lineage of their ancestors, and the fallen nature of their ancestors, unwittingly comes out at any time, day or night. So how can we get rid of these things? Religions teach us to strike your body fast and go the way of the asceticism. One important thing we need to realize here is that all the fallen nature we have today and the wrong and false in lineage are all connected to our ancestors. Therefore, my fallen nature and this false lineage should not be treated as personal. This is very important. I'm telling you again. Therefore, my fallen nature and this false lineage should not be treated as personal. I myself must take up the cross and settle all of these things on behalf of my ancestors and history. Therefore, we must know that our existence is a product of history. So, by treating myself as historical and public, I have to settle the problems of the sin of all my ancestors in the past. Until now, our ancestors had never met true parents and had never heard of them. So there was no solution. However, since we have met the Messiah, know the divine principle, and have heard the word, we know how to distinguish between good and evil. And it is said that all of these things can be settled according to our effort. Before meeting true parents, all our ancestors fell in the same spot, same position where their own ancestors fell. Our ancestors aggravated their sins, and there were almost no ancestors who indemnify the sins. That's why we have to be responsible. Because they do not know anything. They do not know what the principle of creation. They do not know spiritual world. They do not know what does fall means. But we are the one who know. That's why completely how can we sever this kind of connection of lineage? We already know that. That's why we need to go to the way of the indemnity and receiving blessing, and always really we need to pray continuously. We need to do all kinds of the effort. Otherwise, how can we sever the connection of lineage in all environment? Understand, my brothers and sisters? Very important. Also, very important. Any sin, okay? For example, even though you have your own personal sin, you commit sin, chapter 2, misusing money, all kind of sin. This one inherited from your ancestor blood lineage. That's why take it as a public. When you repent, not just as a personal, on behalf of our ancestors, on behalf of Adam and Eve, Heavenly Father, I came to understand this kind of serious situation. No matter what, I want to sever the connection of the fallen blood lineage. We need to have that kind of determination. That's why Father said, we are the one become the ancestor. Need to solve the ancestor problem, my current issue, my family issue. Wow, our job is a really big job, right? Next generation, the mistake of the parents, the first generation, are the responsibility of the sons and daughters, the second generation, and must be indemnified. Indemnified. Parents' sins are passed on to their children. If children do not indemnify the failures of their parents, the failures will be passed down over the generation and have to be indemnified through the entire tribe. If we look at it in the world, righteous people and conscientious people should live long, but those people go back to the spiritual world during their youth. This is because all the sins committed by their ancestors were restored in their some really good boy, good girl die all of a sudden. Why someone is the born as a cripple disabled child? It's all unconnected ancestors issue. Their descendants need to pay the indemnity. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, unconnected ancestors. So the descendants need to pay the indemnity. Somehow you have some your own sin, your own issues. If you could not settle down within your own generation, everything passed down to your descendants. Your descendants need to pay the indemnity. However, you created a great contribution for God and to the parents for the sake of the others, then all benefit go to your descendants as well. From this point of view, I, as a historical product, must take the responsibility for my personal sin, take responsibility for the sin of my parents and ancestors, take responsibility for the sin of my tribe, take responsibility for the sin of my nation, and take responsibility for the sin of mankind. We must be responsible for the wishes of God and the wishes of mankind. Wow, how unification is. Those who know true parents, how much heavy responsibility is ours. We are the one who need to settle down. We are the one who first know all the situation, all the problems. We are the one who resolve all kinds of issues. And immediately, our job is not simple job. Anyway, thank God, thank our true parents, we came to understand this kind of situation very well.
What reasons prisoners and
what was the secret of Prabhupada being able to survive in prison for 2 years without being forced to write a statement of self-reflection by the Communist Party in the midst of an unimaginable harsh environment? Although Prabhupada went to the prison unjustly, Prabhupada, he taught them he thought that being in prison was God's will. Wow, this kind of mindset is such beautiful. And he thought that serving the workers and prisoners there, the people around him was serving all men. In addition, so Father worked harder than anyone else and made the people around him, especially the Communist Party officials, naturally surrender to the Father. Thought that it was actually to love the people and the labor given to him more than anyone else in Kingdom prison. He did not even dream of the, leaving Kingdom prison. And he did best until the last moment. My brothers and sisters, when thinking about our father's life in Kingdom prison, I think of the 3 years of service period in the military, which is one of the obligatory duties of the Korean people. In Korea, the 3 years military service period is regarded as a mandatory period. So when you think about that, you cannot find a willing heart and the attitude of the owner who loves the country more than anyone. If they could, many people have tried to avoid this military service, but they end up in accident. But how did True Father pass through the life in Hunan prison? True Father did not try to avoid any hardships and indemnity if there were any. Rather, he thought that the price of the suffering and indemnity was God's will. I have also served in the military for 3 years in Korea, but I do a lot of self-reflection and regret. I regret so much. As I look back on how good it would have been if I had thought of the service period as God's will and irreplaceable opportunity to love the country like a true father. I am filled with a lot of regret. Of course, I did my best, but I really regret. That was really a great chance and opportunity. I can serve my nation. Through serving this military 3 years of life, I can protect my nation. I can protect my people. I can protect my family. I can protect the nation. There was not that this much about thinking and determination. If I was this kind of mindset, this is a God's will, and the thing about the Hunan prison, wow, I think many things, good things happen in my military life. Of course, I witnessed a few people and still become my spiritual children. But that is not enough. Not easy. Day and night we need to practice how to kill the people. Huh? Wow, that was not simple matter. But that's why everybody doing something unwillingly. That's why there are many kind of accidents. But if like a true father's mindset, this is a God's will. This is a great opportunity. This is like an irreplaceable opportunity to love my country and serving heavenly nation. Wow, how beautiful. My brothers and sisters, indemnity is not meant to be avoided. Through True Father's Hunan prison course, we learn that if it is an indemnity that we have to pay anyway, if it is a cause of suffering, we must take the attitude of an owner like a True Father, not a passive one. Next. We cannot read autobiographies merely as a text. The reason we read the words of true parents is not just to read aloud, but to let true parents grievous circumstances and harm burst in our heart and read them as our own. The purpose of the Fundam reading is, in a word, to inherit to the parents' wish and harm. In the end, what does true Father wish for us? Is wish for us to free our forlorn God from his heart. So now we are living together with true mother. How can we inherit true mother's real heart? And how can become our wishes? Right? However, even when we read the true father's autobiography or even true mother's memoir, we do not know God's heart and soul are written inside the book. Why is that? It is because we treat the word carelessly. It is because we don't take the word sincerely and seriously. It is because we do not know that God's heart and heart of the soul are contained in true parents' words. Next. What point of the intersection are we most likely to have conflict? That place is a family. Conflicts happen most often in the family. In the family, the thought of the parents and that of the husband and wife are different. The thought of the husband and wife are different from the that of the children. And thoughts of the siblings are all different. Therefore, if done wrong, it can be the biggest conflict in the family. So how do you overcome the family that's like the crossover of conflicts? If there is something that conflicts with you, you must change and think about it with God's heart. It means to completely replace our thoughts in the place of the conflict. It means to completely replace your thought with God's thought as well as the other person's thoughts. Otherwise, accidents are bound to happen, and conflicts, anger, hatred, and hurt may arise. We must know that if our heart is not replaced in the family, there is no place to inherit God's heart. And the destination of the God's creation is the destination of our life. Our final destination in life is our family. However, if our family is our final destination, we must first create a harmonious family, right? In order to create harmonious family, you must first completely deny yourself and serve and think of other people first. Because the family is like a point of the conflict. It is also a very dangerous place, just as it is dangerous to not obey traffic signals at on intersection if you do not know the heavenly law that put the other person first in the family and leave for other person. Conflicts and accident will inevitably occur. In the family, you're never allowed to do things your way. My family doesn't exist because I do what I want. We must know that our family exists because of the will and true love. We must know that Satan comes to the family in conflict and that God comes to a family where there is a peace and harmony. Beautiful guidance today. Today I talk about where must we change